The most successful people are not better than you in anything but consistency. Consistency is the quality that will allow you to achieve your goals. Without consistency, you are never going to improve and you will always be stuck in the same place. I don't want you to be stuck. I want you to win. That's why I'm recording this video. I want it to be your go-to guide on how to actually stay consistent, achieve your goals, escape the cycle, and finally see the progress. Listen, I believe that in order to fight a problem, you need to know its roots. What's causing this problem for you? So if you are struggling with consistency, there are a few reasons as to why that may be the case. And the most important reason might be that you just don't care about this thing that you're trying to be consistent at. In that case, either your why is too weak or you literally just don't even care about this thing. So I remember one day I had this kind of thought that it would be so cool to learn how to play on the flute. And so I just bought this flute. And when it arrived, I just kind of found out that I do not even care about it anymore. I don't really, like, it was just a random thought that I had. It was just a random boom of energy that I had that forced me to kind of buy this flute. But as soon as it stopped, I kind of lost the interest in learning how to play on the flute, right? And obviously, like, since I already had it, I tried. I really tried. But obviously, I wasn't able to really force myself to sit down and start learning how to play on this flute. And so I kind of quit that, and then sometime later I had the same boom of energy and I was like, okay, let's actually, like, right now I have this flute with me so I can just sit down and learn, right? And then I saw how hard it is to actually learn how to play on this flute. And then because I didn't really care about learning this instrument, I just quit again, even though I literally bought a course on how to, learn this flute. I literally just quit because I wasn't really interested in learning that. It wasn't aligned with my purpose. It wasn't really something that I was actually interested in and that I thought that it could be life-changing for me. Another thing is that you're probably approaching the whole thing in the wrong way because you're probably tracking your streak every single day, which is a huge mistake. Because if you do that, it means that when you relapse, and that will be the case, like there will be at least one day when you will just relapse, okay? And once you do that, you will be like, okay, so it already happened once, so I might just as well do it the second time and then start fresh tomorrow. That is a huge mistake, brother. Also, you're probably trying to build consistency based on this mindset that you're the same person every single day, which is not true because there are days where you're just ultra productive and you're in your peak. And then literally on the next day, you may become the laziest version of yourself. And one more mistake that I did myself and that I see a lot of people make is that they put too much weight on their shoulders. I remember I wanted to write literally 10 blog posts every single day. Bro, that was before ChatGPT was even a thing. And so it meant that I had to write them manually myself. It takes so much time and brain power out of you that it is just not sustainable. Yet here I was trying to sustain that, trying to be consistent at that. All of those things are huge mistakes that a lot of people do but prevent them from actually being consistent at things. So now I want to tell you how you can fix your consistency and actually become consistent. The first and the most important thing that you need to do is to make sure that the thing you're trying to be consistent at is aligned with your purpose, that you have a strong why as to why you should even do that thing. Because that's why I told you this example with flute. I would never be able to stay consistent with that because I genuinely did not care about whether if I can play on this flute or not. Try to think, why do you even want to be consistent at this thing? What you might do, like, this is a great exercise. If you truly care about, I don't know, like working out, for example, try to think, what will life look like if you won't achieve your goal? If you won't have this aesthetic physique, what will your life look like? You will probably be unhealthy, you will probably be ashamed of yourself, you probably won't be proud of your body. Okay, there are a lot of negative sides to not having this aesthetic physique. And I want you to truly sit down and think about all of those negative sides, how your life will look like if you won't achieve your goal. Because if you go deep into all of those negative sides, you will kind of realize how bad it is that you're not working on this goal, that you're lacking on your goal. Then the second thing that you need to do is to change how you see yourself. If you, for example, start working out and you don't even see yourself as an athlete from the day one, it will be hard for you to stay consistent at the gym because you won't even consider yourself as a person who actually goes to the gym, who eats clean, who does the workout, who always pushes themselves to the failure. Now, even though it could be delusional to some degree, I want you to call yourself a gym rat even after the first day in the gym. I want you to call yourself a YouTuber even after posting one short or one video. I want you to call yourself a business owner even when you don't really have any clients. I want you to call yourself a writer even when you just published your first blog post. You need to shift your identity. You need to start to identify with the version of you who actually becomes your desired result. So if you're working out, your desired result will be to become like an athlete. So start calling yourself an athlete just after your first workout. It's as simple as that, but that will change the way you see yourself. Because if you still see yourself as a person who doesn't really go to the gym, who just started, you will be more likely to say, okay, today I'm not feeling like doing the work and I'm not really an athlete yet, so I might just as well just stay at home and do nothing. Another extremely important and helpful thing is to start building the momentum. So keep the bar for yourself low. What I mean by that is Duolingo is the best example. I actually installed Duolingo like 30 days ago, and they have this thing of tracking your streak essentially. And in order to keep your streak active, what you need to do is you literally need to do only one lesson, which takes about like 1.5 minutes, and the exercises in that lesson are so easy that you can literally do it with your eyes closed. Like, they are so easy, but at the same time, even though this is such a simple thing, there is nothing hard here. It allows you to stay on track. That's what you need to do as well. Like, if you are, let's say, writing a book, you need to have this goal of only writing one sentence a day. I know that it sounds as if it literally would not change anything, but if you just sit down and write the first sentence, you're more likely to go and write even more sentences, and probably every single time you will end up writing like an entire page at least. If you're trying to go for this aesthetic physique, you might just tell yourself, okay, so I'm going to do only one set until failure every single day. And what you'll end up seeing is that many days, like probably if you have like a tough day, then yes, you will just end up doing this one set till failure and you will just keep going with your streak, right? But on the other days, if you just do that, you'll probably end up doing the entire workout anyways. I also want you to take responsibility for your actions, because if you think about it, like, be honest with yourself. If you're trying to be consistent at working out and then you find yourself lacking in terms of diet or working out itself, it's really your fault. Like, you are the person who decides whether to go to gym or not. You are the person who decides whether to eat junk food or like actual protein-based food. The only difference is that many times we are influenced by our emotions, by other people, but at the end of the day, we are still the person. You are still the person who decides about the action that you will take in just a second. So remember about that, and if you end up relapsing, please understand that it is entirely your fault. Literally no one will take you and push you to eat junk food. It is always your fault. It is always you being the person who's in charge, who could decide. And then the last advice that I do have for you is to stop tracking your daily streak or your days. Just think about your weekly goals, because many people will tell you to focus on daily streaks, all of that stuff, but I already explained why that is bad at the beginning of this video, right? But if you focus on your weekly goals, what will happen is if you relapse on one day, you won't say, okay, so like, since that already happened, I can just go and do that again. No, it won't be the case, because it will still count to your weekly goal. Instead of losing your entire streak because of one simple action, you will still be able to keep going, keep trying, keep pushing yourself to stay consistent at that thing, right? And at the same time, you will still be able to see the progress, because on the first week, you might end up relapsing like 20 times, and then on the second week you might end up relapsing like 15 times, which is an improvement, right? And then on the third week you might end up relapsing like 7 times. So you can see the improvement, but at the same time you won't constantly break the streak. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that is essentially everything from me for this video. If you found value in it, you can like this video, you can subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Other than that, thank you for watching, and as always, keep pushing.